Okay, I am in lesson 9.2 and I'm looking at the guided practice for 9.2 before you start the independent practice yourself. So there are 5 questions for this guided practice. If you look at question number 1, and again you can find these on the Google Slides, it says, how can you write 10 thirds, the fraction 10 thirds, as a division expression and as a mixed number? So remember, this is a division problem already. When I look at the fraction, I'm saying 10 divided by 3. So if I write that out as a division expression, all I'm doing is I'm saying 10 divided by 3. The same way we would say it from top to bottom, 10 divided by 3, I'm writing out 10 divided by 3. If I was going to write it out to solve, remember the 10 goes on the inside, the 3, my divisor, goes on the outside. But when they're asking for it as an expression, they're asking you to do it this way. They also wanted me to write that as a mixed number. So all I need to do for a mixed number is I'm going to take my 10 over 3 and I'm going to say, what would my mixed number be? Because right now it's an improper fraction. So how many 3's are in 10? So I know 3, 6, 9, there are 3. And I have 1 left. So I did 3 3's, 9, 1 left from the 10. My mixed number would be 3 and 1/3. Okay, so going from improper fraction to mixed number. For question number 2, they said, suppose 3 friends want to share 16 posters equally. For this situation, why does the quotient 5 remainder 1 make more sense than the quotient 5 and 1/3? So let's think about that. If I have 16 posters and we're going to split them between 3 friends, if I did this 16 divided by 3, and I actually do out all the work, I know 3 times 5 is 15, and then I have 1 left. They're saying, why would it be better in this case to say each friend would get 5 and they would have 1 left than me saying each friend would get 5 and 1/3? So it depends on what you're actually being asked to divide. Would you want a poster of whatever, if it was your favorite actor or musician, would you want a poster of them that was cut into 3 pieces and you only got 1 of the 3 pieces? Wouldn't be very enjoyable to look at, right? So in this case, it doesn't make sense to split up that last poster. We're going to just give each person 5. So we have 5 per person, which would give us our 15. And then we would just have that 1 poster left that they just can't split. So either somebody gets it or they just decide not to share that one. If this problem was changed and it was something that we could divide, like if we were talking about candy bars or fruit or pizza, then obviously we can give everybody a section or a piece of that extra piece, that extra whatever we're talking about. So when you're doing these problems, you really have to think about what is being divided before you decide how you do the division, so, and how you represent the remainder. So if it's something that you know can't be split, a teddy bear, a doll, a poster, you're not going to be able to do the fraction. If it's something that you can split and everybody would be happy if they got a piece of it, then you can go ahead and do the fraction. Okay, so that's where you have to really make sure that you're reading the problems carefully and thinking about, if there is a remainder, what am I going to do with it? Okay, jumping over to number 3, they said find 11 divided by 10 and 10 divided by 11 and write each quotient as a fraction or a mixed number. So 11 divided by 10 is going to look like that. 10 divided by 11 is going to look like that. So remember, 10 divided by 11, 11 divided by 10. So this one, that is my final answer. I can't do anything else with it because there is nothing that I can evenly divide both 10 and 11 by. On this one, because my fraction is improper, I know that there are 110 in 11, or there is 110 in 11, so I could say 1, and then I have 1/10 left over. So 11 divided by 10 is 1 and 1/10. 10 divided by 11 is 10/11ths. Okay, so it's just a matter of turning the expression into a fraction. For numbers 4 and 5, they would like us to tell how much each person gets when they share equally. So 2 friends sharing 3 apples. So 3 apples divided by 2 friends, or 3 apples divided by 2 friends, or 3 apples divided by 2 friends. So if I go to my fraction, probably the easiest one to go to at this point, I'm going to have 1 apple per person, so everybody gets a whole apple. And then I had 3 total. To get that 1, I used 2 of them, so that each friend has 1. And I have 1 left over, so each friend gets 1.5 apples. Okay, and then for number 5, 3 students share 5 breakfast bars. So same thing, I can say 5 breakfast bars divided by 3 students, 5 breakfast bars divided by 3 students, or 5 breakfast bars divided by 3 students. When I do the division or I simplify my fraction, I know that I have 1 3 in the number 5. So I have 1, and then I have 2 left out of the 5 once I take the 3 away. So each person gets 1 2/3 bars. These last 2 problems are examples, again, when we go back to that poster question, because these are both food items, we were able to just call them the fractional part, so we didn't have to just say remainder or whatever, because most of the time with food items, I'm going to be able to divide them and everybody can get a fractional portion. Again, be very careful when you have those situations and think about if it's something that you can divide evenly, or you just have to either let it go or let one person have it. Okay, that was the guided practice for lesson 9-2. We're going to be working on the independent practice next, and if you have any questions, as always, please make sure that you ask.